Howdy folks, this is Jason Fisher with Fisher Gaming again, and we're here with Zoe Morgan once again, and we are going to continue her story. But before we do that, I promised you where to show you where you can find the carrier that we were flying during our last episode. You find it in the Lobi Crystal Consortium, and you can find the actual store on Drazana Station where the majority of the Spectre's timeline took place, and it is right here behind Zoe. So you just need to walk up to it and click on Lobi right here, talk to Lobi Crystal Consortium. And you can find all kinds of gear here. Now these are all grayed out, and the reason why they are all grayed out is because I don't have any Lobi crystals with me. You get the Lobi crystals through the lock boxes, which are these right here. And the different types of lock boxes change for special occasions, but one that pops up over and over is the Infinity lock box. Now, unfortunately, I do not have any keys, but let me see if we can get one. We're going to go right over here to the exchange. And lockbox keys right there. Search.
Oh, what's the harm in a little friendly
And
wager?
they are expensive. Sorted by ascending price. Now, I've had many times when there were the usual price anymore. I guess now is 9 million, but at once upon a time it was 4 million energy credits. But for those of you who just insist on spending no money on this game, and it is possible, this
Keep
is
your
where you can
eyes
get some
on the
keys. Just
wheel.
buy them off the exchange. But my hopes are crushed because they're all too expensive this time. But you can buy keys for the lockbox, and when you get them, you just right click on the box, select use. Of course, I can't get anything out of it, but you get all kinds of prizes out of them. So and not only do you get some sort of prize, but you get every single lockbox comes with a few Lobi crystals, and I'm afraid that's the only way you can get them. And this is where you go to spend them, or when you get the Lobi crystals, you can right click on them and bring up the store that way as well. But the ship that we used is it is actually a tier 5 ship, so it's going to be way down here. And it is, see if I can find it. There it is, Advanced Obelisk Carrier. And it is for 800 Lobi. And of course, this is way down here by the tier 5 ships. The better ships are up here in the tier 6. And some ships I would recommend. One is the Marquis Raider. This is actually an escort, but for those of you who are trying to make science builds, this comes with a console that is awesome for science builds. I forgot what it's called, but it makes basically a firestorm that does exotic damage. And if you got a ship that's doing a lot of science, you want to boost exotic damage a lot, and this is a way to get more, just one more anomaly to get you uh, some good science. another good one is the Zindi Reptilian Syria Citrus Escort. This is one I've got for my Federation Federation tactical character, and I have been so happy with it. If you want a really fast and maneuverable ship, this Zindi Escort right here is a really good one. And there are a lot of other good ships in here. There are a lot of other. There's a lot of other channels that do a lot more for Star Trek Online that will go and explain all these ships in much more detail than I will be doing. But those are some ships those are a couple of ships I highly recommend. This Marquis Raider, uh, now the Lobby store, they do sales on a regular basis, and I do recommend taking advantage of it when they do go on sale. All these tier 6 ships are 900 Lobby, and of course the tier 5s are pretty good too, and um, they are 600, and except for the carriers are 800. So, but I definitely recommend looking into these Lobby ships whenever you have a chance. So that is all I have to say about the Lobby store. The Lobby store also has a lot of really good equipment in other areas, so maybe I do have some more. Space gear, this is consoles and weapons. That that is just totally awesome. Ground gear, a lot of really great weapons here. Costumes, nothing special here. Stuff to it's just other stuff to really dress up your character. So if you're really into Space Barbie, like is what my friends like to call them, just a lot of cool stuff here. Of course, vanity pets, no good in combat. That's what vanity pets, non-combat pets, and then devices. These most of these devices are consumable, which is why I don't recommend them because you know you use them and it's gone, and along with the Lobby that you use to buy them. But they're worth checking out. So, all right. And with that said, let's get on with the next episode. And we're going to do circles within circles. All right, circles within circles objective. The discovery and activation of the gateway in the Jurat system means we can send ships rapidly to explore the Solanae Dyson Sphere. An alliance force comprised of ships from the Romulan Republic, the Federation, and the Klingon Emperor have agreed to work together to study the sphere and establish a zone of control there. But they need skilled captains and crews willing to join the fight. Travel through the gateway and contact Allied Joint Command once you reach the Solanae Dyson Sphere in the Delta Quadrant. Okay, and this is just an intro, so accept that. And our user shortcut. And here we are. Now, on the map, it's just a little bit to the left and up from New Romulus. And you'll probably be using the Dyson Sphere quite a bit. But travel the Dyson Sphere, welcome to the Dyson Sphere. Alright, let's talk to our logistics officer. Welcome to the Delta Quadrant, Dahan Master. A journey that once looked 30 years at maximum warp now takes mere minutes. Did we just go as far as Voyager did? Not quite. We're on the borders of the Delta Quadrant. Specifically, we are within the Solanae Dyson Sphere, a spherical structure built around a star. The sphere itself is the diameter that is nearly 200 million kilometers, or equivalent of 250 million M-class planet surfaces. How much of the sphere has been explored? You're looking at it. The sphere is huge, and it could take us a lifetime to completely understand its construction and technology. We're taking it slow until we know more. That's where you come in. We could use help from the Chickadee. Before we get started, though, Commander Kale wants to receive a briefing about Omega particles from our chief scientist. I'll speak to the chief scientist then. Hello, chief scientist. Hello, Dahan Master. Kale has asked me to be briefed, as there is a lot to be done. We found massive amounts of omega particles being produced within the Dyson Sphere. These particles are extremely unstable, and when detonated, they will damage subspace, making warp travel impossible in the vast area around the detonation site. In the past, we've only had to deal with a small amount of omega particles. Now that we have a structure that is mass producing them for an unknown purpose, what's the plan to neutralize the omega particles? The plan is twofold. First, we must find and destroy any existing omega particles. Secondly, we must discover whatever is producing them at such an alarming rate and stop it. The Federation and the Klingons have agreed to join an alliance with the Romulan Republic in order to see this done. These particles threaten us all. This would be simple, except for, well, it's best perhaps if you hear more from Sub-Commander Kale. He's asked to speak with you. Very well, I'll talk to him. Okay, now let's go see him. Oh, great. Invisible. And in we go.
Welcome to the Solanae Dyson Sphere. My name is Sub-Commander Cole. This is the main command center for Joint Alliance Command, a multi-species task force willing to work together toward a common goal, for now at least. The gateway you use to get here is in Republic space, so the Republic is taking the lead here as well. Our mission? To destroy the omega particles this sphere creates, and neutralize its ability to generate more. The first scouts into the sphere confirmed that it was producing massive amounts of omega particles for an unknown purpose. Given enough time, this sphere could produce enough omega particles to completely annihilate warp travel in all known quadrants of the galaxy. We thought this would be a sweep and clear operation, but we were waylaid by a species known as the Voth. The Voth claim to be natives of the Delta Quadrant, are extremely technologically advanced, and they want the sphere. Now we're in a fight for control. The Voth are determined to gather the omega particles. We're still determining why, but this is a threat to all warp-capable civilizations. I can't stress enough how important it is that we stop the Voth and neutralize the omega particles. There's a lot to do. Shall we get started?
We shall. Discuss Voth contact.
Ah, come in. I have a special assignment that requires a delicate touch. A science ship on patrol in grid Beta 53-30 received an encrypted message from the Voth.
The Voth? Are we fighting them?
This wasn't a message from a military ship or the Voth leadership. This was an encoded short-ranged burst from a Voth science outpost. I think we may have a friend in the enemy's ranks. It'd be best if any communication from our side didn't come from our leadership, for reasons you'll soon see. I want you to pursue a dialogue with this individual. See if we can turn them into an ally. That is all. I'm trying to contact any member of the mammalian occupying force who is willing to open negotiations. I am Nellen Exel of the Voth Circle of Archaeology, and I believe that we have common scientific goals that can only be achieved without the interference of our respective militaries. Working alongside the best minds of the Voth Circles of Science, I have been studying this celestial structure, its function and its original inhabitants. Our work has yielded some troubling information for those seeking to uphold the doctrine that we are the original intelligent species in the Delta Quadrant. The Voth Ministry of Elders maintains that science is only valid if it supports their own fictions of history. I've lost too many colleagues to this terrible government censorship. What I've been able to discover on my own and away from government interruptions is that this sphere was created by a race under direct control of a species called the Iconians. Even ignoring the huge cache of records we found here, the mere existence of this sphere proves that there are powerful entities my government refuses to acknowledge, perhaps to our ultimate doom. I will not be so naive. Left high and dry by my own people, I am left with few options. There must be a sympathetic ear out there that realizes we have entered the nest of an enemy that neither of us are prepared to face alone.
Computer record new message to Neelix, the Voth Circle of Archaeology. Okay. Well, we completed two things. We're going to have to turn in this one. And all we got for that is... Okay, and we got a bunch of stuff on inside the Solanae Dyson Sphere that we're going to need, but to explain that second cutscene, when you go into the reputation, we have the Dyson Joint command is what it is. And as you can see, we are already at level 1, and I'm going to be doing a few things. I'm going to go ahead and get some equipment out of here before I go into the level 2. But each level, all the way through level 5, we get another cutscene, and I'll be sharing those as we come across them. So, but that's all I'm going to do for this episode. All of y'all have a good day and a good life. And on our next episode, we will be doing a lot more exploration of the Solanae Dyson Sphere. Because a lot of these is nothing more than just going around the Dyson Sphere and just exploration. And there are a few more serious, more traditional episodes in them, but a lot of them is just exploration, going through all this stuff. And before Circles Within Circles, we did not get access to the Solanae Dyson Sphere, but now that we do have them, there's a lot of stuff going on here that you will be taking advantage of. So until then, all of y'all have a good day and a good life, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.